He waited for her to forgive him, but she had already forgiven herself. The letter stayed jacket, in his jacket pocket for almost 2 years. He carried it everywhere. Every morning he told himself, "Today I will finally give it to her." But fear always won. Hi there, if this is your first time of coming across my channel, please subscribe, click on the notification button, like and share for another interesting story. He was afraid she would refuse to see him after she would tear the letter apart without reading it, after he would discover that she had truly forgotten him. So he kept waiting. What he didn't know was that the woman he had heard had stopped waiting long before he found the courage to apologize. Years earlier, everyone believed their relationship would last forever. She stood by him through financial struggle, family pressure, and difficult seasons. She defended him when others doubted him and believed in him when he couldn't believe in himself. But when success finally came, everything changed. New friends entered his life. Their opinions became louder than her voice. They convinced him she was holding him back, too emotional, too ordinary, and no longer the woman he deserved. Instead of protecting their relationship, he slowly pushed her away. Every disagreement became her fault. Every misunderstanding ended with her apologizing, even when she had done nothing wrong. She kept hoping he would remember the woman who had always been by his side. Instead, one painful conversation ended everything. He walked away believing she would always be there if he changed his mind. She wasn't. The first few months after the breakup were the hardest of his life. She cried in silence. She questioned her words. She replayed every conversation, wondering what she could have done differently. Then something unexpected happened. One morning, she looked at herself in the mirror and realized she had spent more time asking why he left than asking why she had accepted so little. That single thought changed everything. She stopped waiting for his call. She stopped checking her phone for his messages. She stopped explaining herself to him, who had already chosen a side. Instead, she began rebuilding her own life. She returned to school, started a small business, reconnected with old friends, and slowly became the woman she had forgotten another one while trying to serve someone else. She wasn't healing to prove him wrong. She was healing because she deserved peace. Meanwhile, his life wasn't as perfect as it appeared. The people who had encouraged him to live slowly disappeared when they no longer needed him. Success became lonely. Late at night, he found himself reading old conversation remembering the woman who had loved him without condition. That was when he wrote the letter. It wasn't filled with excuses. It was filled with truth. He admitted every mistake. He admitted listening to the wrong people. He admitted taking her love for granted. But every time he planned to deliver it, shame stopped him. Finally, he gathered enough courage. He found her at a community event, laughing with friends. She looked lighter, peaceful, confident. It was a version of her he had never seen before. He handed her the letter with trembling hands. She read every word without interrupting. When she finished, she folded it carefully and smiled. He waited. He expected anger. He expected tears. He expected question. Instead, she thanked him. "I forgave you a long time ago," she said quietly, his face filled with hope. Before he could speak, she continued, "I didn't forgive you because you apologized. I forgave you because I refused to let the pain control the rest of my life." He stood speechless. She looked at him kindly, For a long time, I thought I needed your apology to heal. Then I realized healing was my responsibility, not yours. Her words hit him harder than any accusation could ever. He finally understood that while he had spent years preparing an apology, she had spent those same years preparing a new life. She wished him well. There was no anger, no bitterness, no desire for revenge, only peace. And she walked away. He realized something that would stay with him forever. Sometimes the greatest lesson isn't when someone refuses to forgive you, it is when they forgive you and no longer need you in their life. He had finally found the courage to say he was sorry, but she had already found the courage to move on without him.